Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Nitro Corner. I'm Paul the Nitro Scars, and we got a huge show today as I look back at Wrestlemania this past Sunday on pay-per-view. So without any further ado, let's get started. The show kicked off, of course, with Sheamus. Man, I'll tell you what about that Sheamus. He is an impressive individual as he defeated Daniel Bryan, that punk, in 19 seconds. Impressive. I mean, really impressive. And what is Daniel Bryan trying to prove? What's he trying to prove? He proved nothing as Sheamus kicked his head off, pinned him 1, 2, 3 in 19 seconds. Impressive. Congratulations to Sheamus as he becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. As far as Daniel Bryan goes, the kiss of death from AJ. He thought he was so smooth in there. He thinks he was so slick. He turned around, got Braun kicked right in the head, knocked him out. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So Daniel with their yes, it went, oh God, I lost. I'm a loser. I could just laugh at how pathetic and sorry you are. And you got what you got coming. And Sheamus certainly proved that at WrestleMania. Now Sheamus is looking forward now to kicking the head off of Alberto Del Rio, because the Mexican aristocrat returned this past Monday night on Raw and defeated Sheamus by disqualification after the referee was dumb enough to buy into Alberto Del Rio's story that he got hit with a chair. Sheamus took care of that when he Braun kicked the referee, knocked him smooth out. And if I was Del Rio, I'd be real careful. Moving on now with WrestleMania, Randy Orton lost to Kane. It was a very stiff match indeed, as Kane somehow used a choke slam off the second rope to score the win over Randy Orton. Congratulations to Kane for picking up that win at WrestleMania. We'll definitely be seeing more of those two down the road. And they had a very impressive no disqualification match, by the way, this past Friday night on SmackDown. Moving on now, let's see here. Let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship changing hands as the Big Show smooth knocked out Cody Rhodes as if he owed him money. As he owed him money, knocked him out and became the brand new United States Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations to the Big Show. Now, can you tell me any other person that is going to beat the Big Show to become the United States Champion? I don't see much in the near future of that. We'll just see what happens down the road as far as Cody Rhodes goes. And now what you just saw was a Cody Rhodes embarrassing moment from WrestleMania. Hey Cody, why don't you take your pretty smile somewhere else? Of course, we had CM Punk defeat Chris Jericho to retain the WWE Championship. That was an intense match. That was very intense. CM Punk getting the submission victory. But then this past Monday night on Raw, when Chris Jericho smashed a Jack Daniels bottle over CM Punk, now he's taking it way too far. Once again, he's making it personal. If I was him, I'd be real careful about doing that, because CM Punk, you know, he's going to be on his way to taking care of some business. We're talking some business against Chris Jericho. And then, I'm just getting to the good part because I got some complaints about the bad parts and stuff like to shoot my venom out at this week. The Hell in a Cell match. The end of an era. Unbelievable. What a truly amazing Hell in a Cell match. It was brutal at its best. Triple H using the sledgehammer. Undertaker wearing Triple H smooth out with the chair, so much so the chair bent. The chair bent. Oh, excuse me for the buzzer there. No, it ain't no timeout either. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, yes. The Undertaker wearing Triple H smooth out with that chair, so much so that it bent a little bit. The frustration on Shawn Michaels' part. Oh God, what am I going to do? Oh God, what am I going to do? And then, of course, he getting involved in it with sweet chin music on The Undertaker. And then Triple H putting with the pedigree and still could not beat him. It was back and forth. Shawn Michaels was getting ready to call the bell earlier in the match when Triple H knocked out The Undertaker. You don't ring the bell, Shawn. Come on, Undertaker, let me ring the bell. Don't ring the bell, Shawn. Well, it wasn't as pure as The Undertaker would have it, but it was a pure ending as The Undertaker took out Triple H. 1, 2, 3. Thanks about Shawn Michaels counting the 1, 2, 3. Great ending. Triple H shoved The Undertaker, gave him the crotch. Come on, you mother bleep. Undertaker was more than glad to oblige him with that tombstone, the 1, 2, 3. And then at the end, great deal of sportsmanship. The Undertaker got helped up by Shawn Michaels. And then they helped Triple H up and they walked together, all three of them, up the ramp. Truly was the end of an era. Not quite possibly, in my mind, the match of the year, coming up at the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Achievement Awards to be announced in March of next year. And that is already one of my picks for for a match of the year. Moving on now, let's see. Now that I got the good stuff out of the way, let me get to some of the bad stuff that I'm going to shoot my venom at, beginning right now. But first, as always, I always drink Coke because Coke is in. I'll toast that match, the Hell in the Era match, by the way. Okay, let's get into the bad stuff. Let's talk about first the Divas match. Why did they have it? Why? What was there a point in having that match up? There was no real build-up to that match. I mean, really, do you need a celebrity to be involved in a wrestling ring at WrestleMania? Remember last year, Snooki, and how that turned out? Well, this year was extras Maria Menounos. Now, I'm going to interject something in here right now. It was announced at that event that Maria was injured with quite possibly broken ribs and a foot fracture, I believe, in one of her feet. Now, can you tell me any commission in the state of Florida would sanction that her being involved in that match? She should have never been involved in that match. She was legitimately injured. Why did you put her in the match? She could have gotten a lot more injured than that. And it's not Dancing with the Stars, believe me. The match itself was just so drawn out, so boring. I had nothing to do with it. No offense against Kelly or Eve Torres or Beth Phoenix, but really, that was a bad idea. That should have never happened. Maria was injured. She should have never been involved in the match. So basically, I shake my head at that and dust it off and say that was a bad experience, to say the very least. Not a good match at WrestleMania. Moving on, I'm going to get to Team Johnny versus Team 10AM because I got really something to say about that. Rock versus Cena. I was very surprised it was a good match between The Rock and John Cena, but did you notice the behavior of John Cena near the end of the match? Really, John? Did you have to mock the people's elbow in such a half-assed way? It was so half-assed, it ain't even funny. Oh, I'm going to do the people's elbow. And then he did it half-trot, and then over half-trot, Rock put a stop to that immediately with a rock bottom, hooked the leg, and it was over. The Rock victorious at WrestleMania. And then at the end of the match, you notice John Cena sitting up there, up on the rampway, looking dejected, as if saying, oh, I should have won that match. I should have won that match. I'm John Cena. I should have won that match. You didn't win shit. You lost, John. You lost. Please excuse my language there for just a moment to kind of slip of the tongue. But you lost. And you were in there half-assed doing the people's elbow. Again, I apologize for the language, but people like that drag me down. sometimes and drags the match down somewhat. John Cena's half-assed attempt at the people's elbow led him getting pinned, and then sitting there moping, complaining, and you know he was complaining inside his mind, "I'm John Cena, this is BS. I should have won that match. Who does The Rock think he is anyway?" Then comes the next night on Raw, and can you talk about instant karma coming down and heavy on you, quoting Blackjack Mulligan 1984 in Florida. John Cena comes out there, delivers a BS speech, and it's such BS, John. Such BS, I can see it. That's good. I'm coming out here because I respect The Rock. I lost. I respect The Rock. I want to come out here and congratulate him on a victory. You liar. You lied. You wanted to win the match. I could tell it in your body language. I could tell it in the look on your face that you wanted to win the match. And then, I don't know about you anymore, John. Really. I really don't. You mope and croak because you want to win the match when really it made more sense for The Rock to win the match and solidify himself as the people's champion. But no, you sit there moping and groping and complaining in your mind, "Oh, John Cena should have won the match." Really? Well, while John Cena's BS speech continues, familiar music hit the background. Dun, 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 dun. I can't do the music, I apologize, but you know what I'm talking about. And out comes Brock Lesnar. That's right, Brock Lesnar, people. 6'3", 265 pounds of pure butt-kicking excitement. Well, Brock had about enough of this BS speech, and he could see the BS oozing out of Cena. There's John Cena. "How you doing, Brock?" He wants to shake his hand after that BS speech. "How you doing, Brock? Welcome to WWE. How you doing?" Sitting there with that fake smile. Brock says, "Hey, I'm doing great. How about you, John?" Took his hand and then executed the brilliantly beautiful F5, drove Cena to the canvas. Cena had the nerve to look shocked. "Well, you're sticking out your hand there with a fake smile. What'd you expect?" Well, after he got dropped like a bad habit with the F5, Brock Lesnar got a huge pop, and I mean huge. I'll tell you something right now. That is your main event for SummerSlam this year. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the in the main event of the WWE SummerSlam this year. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Because you know what's going to be the main event next year. At WrestleMania. Cena Rock 2. At WrestleMania next year. Oh, on a side note, I wouldn't be too surprised if it was not for the WWE Championship, because The Rock has made it crystal clear he wants to be WWE Champion again. Now think about this. The Rock versus CM Punk at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. Don't be too surprised if that happens. Now I say the worst for last, because it's time to spew my venom. Everyone knows how much I despise John Laurinaitis. Everyone knows that the reason why John Laurinaitis has what he has now is because he's Road Warrior Animal's brother. Road Warrior Animal's brother. With that being said, WrestleMania this past Sunday, of course, being strong for Team Teddy, didn't work out. Team Johnny won. Why? Taurus has to stick her nose in where it doesn't belong. After coming out there with Zack Ryder going to, what the hell is that? In the middle of the match, you had to go in there and do that. Because she distracted the referee enough for the Miz to get behind Zack Ryder, plant him face first, and get pinned. So that means Team Johnny wins. Ever out there with that cheesy smile, with that ridiculous suit? Did you see the suit he wore Sunday? white with a red bow tie. What is this? A telecommercial or something? An infomercial for selling some product? Maybe your t-shirt, which doesn't sell with a thing? Anyway, Team Johnny won. Afterwards, Torres kicked Zack Ryder in the crotch. Zack Ryder obviously feeling the sting of it all as Torres left. Next night, Torres says that she did not regret doing that to Zack Ryder. She used Zack Ryder. Zack, she used you. You got yourself set up. You got to get yourself out of it. Anyway, I digress. Team Johnny wins. So basically, I have to prepare myself for the sheer, unadulterated agony that is the John Laurinaitis era. And lo and behold, what do I find out? John Laurinaitis has now declared it people power. It's the power of the universe, the WWE universe. That is such BS. It's about as bad as Obama trying to convince the Supreme Court to pass Obamacare. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. But really? The people power. Hey, Laurinaitis, put your people power and stick it, son. You can stick it up your rear. And as far as Mr. Herbal Tea drinking David, I'm married to Jennifer Hudson Ortega Esquire goes, one more abs shot and I'm going to slap the taste out of you today. Really, you don't need to do the abs. I need abs. It's pretty funny because it's pathetic and sad. So what am I going to do about it? I can't do anything about it except sit there and tolerate it. I tolerate it. Even though maybe some of you might think, oh, all you do is just click it off, go to TNA. I don't want to do that because I'm no coward. And I'm not going to run from Laurinaitis. And yes, I'm being biased because I said so. I don't like John Laurinaitis. And I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. I'm not going to turn the clicker off just because your smiling dumbass mug is on the camera. It ain't going to be happening. But you're going to be hearing a lot more out of me. Every time you do something stupid, you're going to hear it from me. Every time. Right here on the Nitro Corner. Because I'm going to hold you accountable for the stupidity of it all. For instance, you put R-Truth in a handicap match against Mark Henry and Mr. Abs, David Ortega. Because of course, Mr. Ortega owes Mr. Henry a favor. Yeah, don't expect to collect it anytime soon. And then Mr. Laurinaitis calls out Theodore Long, the worst of all, and shows absolute no respect for the man, threatening to pull the college fund of his grandkids. Ain't that something special, John? That's pulling a power play, John. That's pulling a power play, punk. And I'm calling you out on it. Leave the man alone. Have him leave with some dignity, some pride in the hard work that he produced. But no, that's not you, John. Mr. Personality himself. Really? Well, you know what? I'm going to end on this note because I'm going to save my energy. Because every time you screw up, you make a stupid move that gets me all fired up, you can best believe it's going to be right here on the Nitro Corner. Well, that is it for this edition of the Nitro Corner. I am currently working on finding out more information about 1CW. I think something has come up with 1CW. Once again, I'm going to try to investigate that further and bring it to you right here next week on the Nitro Corner. Until then, my name is Paul the Nitro Skywers. Have a happy Easter, everyone, and we'll see you next week. Until then, so long, everybody.